Welcome back to SnowRunner. You join us again in Northport, Alaska as we continue clearing this area before we explore any more of Alaska. Now today we're looking at the mission Floating Drill. This mission involves us taking an oil rig semi-trailer from the service site to the port. It does sound quite simple, but the terrain can be a bit tricky. But this is the first mission we're going to look at today and hopefully get a couple more done along the way. For this mission we're going to be using the Pacific P16. I think it offers us the best of both worlds in terms of grip, but also pure unadulterated strength, torque, everything that you need for pulling something this big. Now we have pulled these previously. We've used the Fleet Star, which we've found to be a bit tricky back in Michigan when the front wheels barely touch the ground sometimes, but I think this really suits the Pacific P16, to be fair, and this is what this truck's made for as far as I'm concerned. Now getting down to this site wasn't too bad. There's one area that I'm worried about us going back, but until we get to that point we don't really know how it's going to go, more because of the extra weight now on the back. It wasn't too bad getting here, but it's the weight on the back that could make that area a lot worse, but when we get to it we'll point it out at least. But I hope you guys are still enjoying these episodes. Alaska is definitely a different ball game from Michigan, and yeah, things take a little bit longer sometimes because of the terrain and the conditions, but I think we're getting there. We're making decent progress. We unlocked a brand new truck in the last episode. If you haven't seen the last episode, go back and have a look. It was live last Sunday. Yeah, I unlocked a brand new vehicle, which is always good. We talked about vehicles, buying vehicles, and that's one thing we said we wouldn't do. But there will be I'm going to have a look, and Shu the Gamer gave us some tips about how we find out what trucks can be found and which ones can't. And the trucks that can't be found, we may end up buying, just to give us more variety of trucks we can use. I have also noticed, because when we moved to Alaska, I put all the trucks into stasis. I can't remember what it's called, but there is a name for it. Now, in that bit where you can activate your trucks again in a garage of your choosing, there are a load of DLC vehicles that are there for free. Now, I don't know if they are definitely free, but it seems like I can activate them and it doesn't cost me anything. Now, I don't know if that's because I've got the majority of the DLCs already or what. So that's something we need to look at and decide, because obviously if they can be found we won't use them until we find them, but if they can't be found then it means we can use them, if that makes sense. So that's something we need to look at the very least. But yeah, there's something I'm trying to work on at the minute. See what trucks can be found, ones that can't, we'll make a list and we'll buy them steadily as we go, and hopefully just give ourselves more variety. You guys know that I like to change trucks and use different things for different jobs, so I think trying to give us more variety is always a good thing. You know, this kind of job here, I don't know what other truck we have that would manage this the way the Pacific P16 does, so it'd be quite nice to have another big heavy duty rig that could manage this kind of job as well. We've got quite a lot of trucks like the Fleet Star now that do really well at the smaller jobs, and we've got a couple of other trucks that do well at taking a decent sized trailer but lack in other areas. Yeah, it's a balancing act, and obviously we've got 2 scout vehicles, so yeah, it's just working out what's best. But yeah, I'm trying to work out this list, figure out what we can and can't do, and we'll go from there. So we may see some new trucks appearing in our arsenal very soon, depending on finances and things like that. I also need to buy the rest of the DLCs. The problem is the SnowRunner still is releasing DLCs. I think I've got quite a few of them, but I don't think I've got a few, last couple maybe, I don't know, I need to look. But we're making good progress in the Pacific P16 with this oil rig salvage semi-trailer. It's the weight of it that's the concern, especially on terrain like this, but most of this isn't muddy, it's all frozen, so we don't sink. I say that as we start sinking. This is quite a tight hill as well. It's always the thing, on the hills we know we've got the torque, we've got the power in the Pacific P16, but it is still a hill, and it's a lot of weight dragging us backwards. Although the ground isn't moving too much, so it is quite solid. We also can't change the tyres on the Pacific P16, so they are what they are. I don't think we have changed them actually. Looking at them, no, I don't think we did. I think we are stuck on, yeah, some rigs you can't change tyres, or there's only a choice of maybe one other, maybe. You can see how deep the mud's now getting a bit softer here, dragging us down a little bit, but Pacific P16 still working well, still going strong. We are in low range at this point as well, just to keep us moving. So all the wheels, for those that don't know, low range means that the wheels are slowed down from the normal spin speed, so that allows you to gain more traction. We do have a diff lock as well, and the diff lock on this is always on, which means that the wheels always spin at the same speed all the time. Although this doesn't have all-wheel drive, so it's only the rear wheels you've got to think about, but they all spin at the same speed, whether we're in high, low, medium, doesn't matter. Whereas a lot of vehicles can only use diff lock in low. I don't know if it actually works in normal on this, because it's always on. I assume it does work no matter what you've got it on, whereas a lot of vehicles can only activate the diff lock when they're in low range. The low range is generally used for hills, but conditions like this, it can be useful as well. But this is where I think this Pacific P16 does really well, because it's got a diff lock that's always on. I think that's where it gets a lot of its grip and power from. Right, next hill, it's a smaller one this time. Just trying to keep the grip, try and stay on the more solid parts of the road where possible. And now we're approaching the part that I was a little bit concerned about. So coming in wasn't too bad, because obviously the only weight we had on us was the truck itself. But this is a very wet, muddy area. Now there are trees down the side, and we're going to stick to the right hand side here. And if we need to, we can always winch off the trees to move us forward. But this was my concern, because if we sink, we've got a lot of weight on us to try and pull forward. Right, low range straight away, trying to keep this moving. The thing I find with mud, there we go, winch already out. The thing I find with mud is you have to keep moving. If you stop, that's when you have difficulty getting going again. As long as you're always moving, even at the slowest speed, you're still going forward. It's the stopping that can be problematic. Right, I want the winch to connect ahead of us here, but it's not quite doing what I want it to do. Don't stop. There we go. That's what we needed. Put ourselves forward a bit more. Got to use the winch as much as possible here, just to keep us going forward. But that is really deep mud. That is extremely deep. And as I say, on the way here, it wasn't an issue as much. We had some. We didn't get stuck, but we knew it was going to be a struggle. And that was with less weight. With this trailer on the back as well. Imagine that weight bearing down. You can just see how deep it is as well. But we're still going forward. The other issue we've got, we don't want to be too close to the trees, because I don't want the trailer to snag on any of the trees and get caught. That would be a nightmare too. But slowly getting that. We're nearly out actually. We've not gone as bad as I thought. I thought this would take us a bit longer. With a winch there. Come on, keep pulling us. Going well so far. Once we get onto more solid ground, you'll see a complete difference in speed as we'll grip up really quickly. Come on, nearly out of the mud. Need the rear wheels out. The front wheels don't matter because we haven't got all drive. So rear wheels. I think I've taken low range off a bit quickly there. We're nearly there. Yeah, definitely took it off too early. As you can see, the wheels start spinning. I shouldn't have taken off yet. There we go. That, you can definitely tell the difference. The minute your back wheels come out of that mud, you can see us just zip forward. And that was my only real concern. I think the rest of this is going to be fairly simple, because most of the journey now, once we get onto the main road up here, is main road. Over our bridge and everything, and we're back off to the port. Nice and simple. This has been a little bit of a quicker mission than I was expecting, to be fair. I thought this would take us a lot longer than it has. I know we're not quite at the port yet, but it's not far away. So, yeah, that's something to think about. We'll have to find some other things to do today, I think. Oh, okay, that could be an issue. There is a metal railing all the way alongside that left-hand side of that road. We need to get this turn correct to make sure we don't get caught on that. So we need to be as wide as possible here. I hate making these tight turns in vehicles with long trailers, I really do. The problem with going wide here is we're right in the depths of the snow, which could be a problem. Right, let's bring it round. Have we gone wide enough? I'm not sure if we have. If we get the back wheels to go on it, we may bounce over. Let's see. Yeah, we're okay. Back wheels are bouncing. We're all good. That wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, to be fair. That's the kind of thing that could make us tip over as well. Although this isn't really very top heavy. It's just heavy in general. But yeah, that wasn't a concern. But we made it. So straight run now, main road all the way to the port. Should be fairly simple. Reset cameras. Good view in the truck though. I do like the cab views, to be fair. I wouldn't like to do lots of driving here. We've done it in the contest in Michigan. We had to do some where it was inside the cab the whole time. They can be tricky, especially around tight corners. But sometimes it's nice just to get that view inside the cab. Okay, we'll get a bit of speed up going here as we head down the hills. We'll be a bit careful. That's when we take the corner. There's one of our vehicles ready to go when we need it next. And we've got the bridge we built, so we should be able to head straight across. As I say, this is all fairly simple, this bit. I thought the journey would take longer than it has done, as we're nearly at the port. But I'm sure we can find other things to do. There's still lots of missions to do. I've already found well, we know we've found, because you guys have seen it, so we know where to go to get to the next part of Alaska. It looks like there's only one connecting place to the next area. So I think there's 4 areas in total, or 4 maps for Alaska. We're on the map number 1, which is North Port. I don't know what the others are called offhand, but I'm guessing the other 2 are connected to that second map, because there's no other connection I can see on North Port's map. So that's going to be interesting for them very long journeys. But we'll see how we go. Okay, we're approaching the port. Hopefully they'll let us in. They should do. There shouldn't be any issues. We're not overweight or anything, I don't think. Alright, let's get round the security building. There we go. And we've got a couple of vehicles ahead of us. They're our vehicles that we used previously for missions to the port. As I say, I try not to recover things unless we really have to. That way trucks and stuff are ready to go from wherever they last were. It makes things easier for some of these jobs. There we go. This is our delivery point. And that was a job well done by the Pacific P16, I would say. A very well done job. Disposed of all the junk. That is done. Yeah, that went better than I expected. Pacific P16 smashed it. It really did. Right, we've got to figure out what we're going to do next. Just give me a second, and then we'll figure it out. Right, we've managed to come up with a plan. So, next job we're going to do is a mission called Trailer Park. And this mission involves us finding the trailer park, or actually getting there. Sounds really simple, doesn't it? Sounds too simple. For this, we're going to take the Royal BM17, which is currently at the port already. And we're going to drive north and find this trailer park. We picked this mission up previously from a warehouse, I think it was. It's a task, not a main mission, which is fine. It just sounds a little bit too easy. I don't understand. I don't know why. Some of these are like that though. They are just go to this place, not pick anything up, just go there. Unless there's obviously something we haven't seen yet that makes this tricky. But we have the faith in our brand new truck. This is the truck we obtained in the last episode. As I say, if you haven't seen the last episode, go back and have a look, and you'll see us obtain this truck and go through all its fundamentals and just see where it sits compared to some of the others, and also what we've changed and upgraded, because we had them ready to go. Okay, that's where we're heading. It's that turn off we're just going to be aware of, I think. It's a straight run up. Doesn't seem problematic. But time will tell. We do have all-wheel drive on the BM17. We don't have diff lock, which is fine. We've got a different gearbox in. I think we put the SnowRunner gearbox in this in the last episode. So we've got more low-range gears if we need to. I still don't really know gearbox-wise. Is it always best to go with like the SnowRunner gearbox or the off-road gearboxes? I'm still working it out. Same as engines. I assume the best engine having any vehicle is the most powerful one, but then that drinks fuel. So is the secondary to that better? It's, from what I can tell, it's you try it, see what you think, and see how you get on with it. Because I know there's a truck we've got, I can't think the name of it. We put the most powerful engine in, and it was worse than it was with a lower engine. It just didn't work correctly, didn't do what it should have done, or wasn't as good as. For whatever reason, it could be because we need another upgrade to it that would make it better. I don't know. I can't think what truck that was, but I think we took the engine out in the end and put the lower one back in. Ah, okay. This is a steep hill, and this is ice and snow. By the looks of things, we've got no grip. I can feel it. You can feel it as you're trying to drive up here. There is zero grip at all. Trying to use the low range gears here. Try and keep us moving forward. Zero grip. Look at that. All the tyres are just spinning. And this is all-wheel drive. Diff lock would be handy here, I think. That definitely makes a difference going uphill. Although it's not... Although this is tricky, it's not a very long bit of uphill. You can see the tyre ruts ahead of us here. We've got to the tree. And we're good and golden again. So if that's the hardest bit we have to face, we smashed it. Basically. Because that wasn't that bad. I panicked at the start of that thinking, oh great, we're in trouble. And actually, no. The all-wheel drive, the low-range gears that we could select, I think made a massive difference there. Enabled us to really keep going. And again, another hill here. Not as bad as the last one. Quite steep though. Look at that gradient. That is a hell of a gradient to be on. You'll be pinned back in your seat if you're in the front of the vehicle doing this. Right, we've got a bit stuck on here. Come on, there we go. Changing low range gears made us a quick boost there, which helped. Over the snow. Couldn't turn quick. The corner's too tight, we couldn't turn properly there. We're heading right here, aren't we, I think. That's the problem with going on the snow though, is you can get buried and have difficulty getting traction out of it. But we just couldn't, there's no way of making that corner that tight. Okay, I think we're golden. I think we're here. Or just around the corner at the very least. This was an easy mission, I must admit. I thought this would be a lot harder. Obviously there was 1 point, maybe 2. It could have been worse if we chose a different vehicle. I think the all-wheel drive made a massive difference. But yeah, we smashed it. And that is trailer park complete. Warehouse access is now available, so that's from here, I guess. As there's now a sign there to say there's access. So there's obviously materials we can now pick up from here and deliver when we need to. What else have we got? A new trailer discovered. That's a small scout flatbed with something on it. I don't know what's on it at the minute. And a contest. Employee Dislocation. Okay. I've already set the contest off. I didn't mean to do that. I don't want to restart it either. Stop it for a minute. I want to stop the contest. I don't know how I'll stop it. I just picked it up and accepted it. And now it's going. I don't want it going. How do we stop contest? That one. Cancelled. There we go. I didn't want to get it going now. Although saying that, it doesn't look that bad. So the contest requires us to deliver 1 service spare parts from where we are now, the trailer park, to the port. Gold time 7 minutes or under. Silver 10 minutes and under. And then bronze 10 minutes and above. No recovery, no garage, a maximum of 100 damage allowed. Well, that's the journey we've just done coming here. And that didn't take that long. Now, contests we normally leave till last. So the last thing we do in any map, and normally after we've cleared all 4 maps, we'll then do all the contests on each one. But while we're here, let's do this. Not something I normally do, but we golded every contest. Golded is the wrong word. We got gold on every contest in Michigan. I think we can do this in gold time. It's under 7 minutes. We've already got the service spare parts on board. That was quick and easy. I'm trying to line up to make that quicker. Yeah, I think we can do this. Definitely under 7 minutes. Or we should be able to at the very least. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised. As I say, we did in Michigan. We did all the contests in all 4 maps right at the end before we moved to Alaska. But I suppose if we're here and it's an easy one we can just quickly knock out, then it makes sense to do it. It's another job done, another thing cleared off the map. And this will be the 3rd job in this episode done today, which is never a bad thing. Keep these jobs moving. So yeah, okay, let's do this. Currently coming up to a minute already in, and we're making good progress. This is the hill where we got stuck last time. This is the snowy, icy, hilly one. This middle bit here is the problem. You can see we're already getting stuck and slowing down. It's only because of how deep it is though, more than anything else. Minute 15 on the board. Under 7 minutes. Yeah, we're going to smash this. I think we're going to smash it like under 5. Is my guess at this point. because that was the hard part there. The rest of it's an easy run now. It's a bit muddy in places, but that's about it. And we have got the speed in this Royal BM, so it should be simple. I'm kind of gobsmacked at how easy this is. I was thinking this would be a lot harder. The damage, we haven't taken any. So that 100 damage maximum, it doesn't matter. We reach the end of this road just up this hill here. We turn right and that's the port. That's how easy this mission was, this contest was. Which, nicely done. That's all I can say. I'm counting my chickens before they're hatched, I must admit. I'm saying it before we even finish the contest. But seriously, there's nothing really that can go wrong right now. Because that's the main road, so you can't get stuck on that. This is the port entrance. This is the job done. Oh, that's brilliant. And we're going to be massively under the time. I was wrong on my 5-minute guess, even lower than that. So let's park up here and deliver what we need to deliver. And that should be contest complete. Try not to hit the other truck. There we go, contest complete. We did it in a gold time of 2 minutes and 33 seconds. That 7 minutes was far too generous. We smashed it. Well, that is it for today. 3 jobs done. We've done a main mission, a task, and a contest, all in one episode. I think that's pretty good going. A massive thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, a like on the episode really does help the channel. We'll see you next time as we continue in Alaska in a SnowRunner.